Hey there, welcome back to Pixelmon, this ridiculous series. We've got our super cool random wheel to spin, which I will get to in a moment. It's only been like a month since one of these, no big deal. I know whenever I make one of these weird off-topic videos, there could be another couple hundred new people who subscribed because of a COD video and see this pop up and are like, what the hell is this? I do expect this to be the final one though, as I've mentioned in a couple other videos now. I played this super hard and burned myself out to some extent. I knew that would happen, which is why I thought, maybe I'll just do the first 8 gyms. And then that turned into maybe 5, but 4 works too. Also, just like I explained in that recent Battlegrounds update video, some of the recordings later in this video are pretty old, but that shouldn't affect anything. This intro bit and the gym battle are both current day, but the team prep is all from a while ago. And no spoilers, but this gym was a tough one, very formidable opponent. We might have gotten destroyed, you'll just have to wait and see. Definitely the best gym so far. But yeah, this should be the final one of these. Not that too many people will be upset about that. This was just a super short passion project. I had planned to wrap it up by the end of the summer to jump into the World War II beta stuff. Not that I need to make many videos about that with all the people flown out to Activision. You might be sick of World War II stuff by the time the beta actually comes out. But I can tell you what I think about it and maybe even live stream a bit. Anyway, I thought I might have gotten through a couple more gyms in this game, but of course I underestimated the time it takes to prepare to battle one of these and then piece together the video, and I guess I only have room for one random Pokemon-related addiction at a time, because with all the stuff happening in Pokemon Go, I've been back into that more, getting all my legendaries, helping out the campus group take down gyms. Of course, Pokemon Go was the random Pokemon series last summer, because that seems to be a pattern of mine, and no, it won't be coming back anytime soon, for various reasons, from lack of time to my phone being too laggy to record the screen now, but I kept playing it if you wanted a little update. I'm level 35 with plenty of things in my Perfect IV collection. Those are still the main reason I play. I love collecting them. But alright, back to Pixelmon. I suppose now would be a good time to also mention, as you would know if you follow any Pixelmon news, the main mod was finally shut down by Nintendo back in mid-July. Everyone can still play it and all, that's all fine, and I expect it'll continue to be fine. Then, more recently, I think there was something about Pixelmon Reborn, like a development will be continued on it somehow with a different team or under a different name. I have no idea if Nintendo will continue to crack down on this stuff or if that will live for a while. But it won't affect me much, obviously. We'll just have to see if the mod keeps updating or not, and that will determine if there's a surprise Pixelmon Season 3 in the summer of 2020. If they keep getting shut down, though, definitely a bummer for that to happen after all this time. But I'm surprised it lasted this long. Nintendo is well within their rights to come down on Pixelmon. Maybe it means they're planning a more open-world Pokemon RPG for the Switch next year. Yeah, probably not. Well, I think it's time to travel back in time to some older clips, and not that there's any difference, but let's get the ball rolling here. Okay, let's start off this episode like usual with a spin of the wheel, my favorite part, picking a random gym team member that we have to use in the electric flying type gym. Random is fun. It's too bad I didn't get to use more of these. I always feel bad I'm not using more of the random suggestions. I do love them, but I also don't want to get blown back in the gym. We could take a look at some of these. Obviously the Tyranitar is just power, another pseudo. I'm thinking if that doesn't get chosen, I might pull a Metagross like last time, where I just choose to have it on my team in addition to the random selection. Ursaring's definitely power. Get that Guts Facade going. Charizard has a not great type matchup with the electric types, but is still strong and gets some great moves. Everyone loves Charizard. And I'll take something that's fully evolved. The Shiny Mime Jr. I guess I could technically breed for a better Mime Jr., but that would be lame. I know the intention here was for me to use the Shiny Mime Jr. I talked about in the previous episode, and I think I said in a comment, I kind of set myself up for that one being suggested. Maybe spending a minute talking about how I accidentally bought that thing for 10k wasn't the best idea. Lickitung gets great coverage too, very bulky with an Eviolite. The Shiny Loudred too, that one I actually hinted I wanted to use after catching it in the last episode, but you were supposed to tell me to use an X-Ploud. Dang guy, not let me evolve it. And Stantler, why not? I'll take anything fully evolved from this wheel. Normal types are always welcome if I'm not entering a fighting gym. They usually have good coverage, like Miltank was great last time. Anyway, enough delay. Come on, wheel, give me the power. I really did set myself up for that, huh? Well, at least you know I'm not rigging it to get the most powerful thing. Congratulations, Zachary. I will use the Shiny Mime Jr. I accidentally bought for 10k. The 3 Perfect IV Meme Jr. Although last time I was mistaken, I thought I couldn't evolve it into Mr. Mime unless I used a move token to make it relearn Mimic, which it only learns at level 15, but I realized I'm an idiot. I was just scanning through my TMs and I saw Mimic flash up and I was like, oh god, I don't know why I didn't check that. Yeah, Mimic is a TM and I can evolve this guy if I want to, but it looks like I won't, at least not yet. I do like this though. The point of this wheel is to have fun making something kind of trash into something useful, so I'll look into doing that. It might be kind of tough, but it does kind of make me smile to use this thing. I really need to know what moves I can get onto it from level 35 where it is now to 55. Hopefully I could use Light Screen and Reflect with Light Clay. That could really help out the team. If not, then I might really need to go bankrupt and finally buy an Eviolite. They are very expensive, but so far I've been unable to get one with pickup, and I have the money for it. Okay, Mime Jr., we can do this, it'll be fun. And I'm thinking I will use the T-Tar on my team of my own volition, so thank you, Tyler, for that suggestion. But thanks to everyone here, and feel free to suggest anything for the next gym, which is the 5v5 level 65 Psychic Gym. But obviously, as I was saying earlier, there's no guarantees there ever will be an episode 5. Not like it takes a whole lot of time to throw a random suggestion out there, though, so you can if you want. And if you want, you can just also restate a same suggestion you might have left on a previous video, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, just know it might never happen. So I know I've spent a lot of time discussing this wheel, but that should be okay because I'm thinking I want to make this episode quick and dirty. What I really enjoy about this whole thing is the gym battle. That's always the central element of every video, and I can't help but feel like you only need to see so much of me chain breeding things to get better IVs and pass down certain moves. Does anybody care about that part? So I'll be back after I've done a bit of team building. I have now thrown together a template for the team. I mean it when I say thrown together. This part of the planning usually takes like 10 minutes to brainstorm what might be good and see how easy it is to obtain. Now instead of slowly unveiling each member on the team throughout the video, how about I just show you the entire team right here, right now. I can talk about it and just show some of the footage of preparing each of them in the background, and then basically go straight to taking on the gym. And there's a timestamp as usual with me talking about the theories behind the team I'm bringing is the driest thing ever for you. So I built this around laziness and also what I thought would be some decent type synergy. But here's a great example of the laziness. I thought I'd bring Crustle, as in the exact same one I built for the bug gym in episode 2, because it stayed in the back for that entire battle. I never used it, so why not bring it to this battle? It's already completely trained up and ready to go. I just need to get it 20 more levels and it's completely done. I figured Rock and Ice would be good offensive types for this gym to hit the flying type super effective and the electric types for neutral. They will have many dual type things, I'm sure, but I didn't really want to be super predictable and just bring a bunch of rock ground types like your Golem and Rhyperior. Sounds great in theory, rock for the flying types, ground for the electric types. What could possibly go wrong? Well, I'm guessing they'll have Grass Knot on everything, and in general, tons of grass, water, and ice coverage to counter people who do that. Of course, the stuff they have just has to be part electric or part flying. It's not like they're gonna have 5 Emolgas. So I wanted to branch out and have a little bit of synergy on the team. Shell Smash Crustle could be fun. Maybe I'll even get my rocks up for this gym, depending on the lead. Next is Magnezone. Would have been a decent bring for the water gym, too. I loved this typing for the gym. Very unique typing to resist the electric and quad resist flying, and have strong discharges for the flying types. It's also not the super expected rock ground thing, because it'll also resist the ice and grass coverage moves. And I actually gave it an air balloon, because why not? It's an item that makes me immune to ground moves, which I am quad weak to. But when I get hit with a move, the air balloon pops and goes away. That's how that works. It's very situational, but the only other item I would have had for it was like a magnet or a metal coat to power up one of the stab moves. So if an Aerodactyl has Earthquake for me, well, too bad. You'll have to hit me with something else first. Discharge, Flash Cannon, Thunder Wave, and Magnet Rise, which is hilarious to have Magnet Rise and an air balloon on the same set. You popped my balloon, eh? Well, now I'm floating anyway. Take that. It just didn't learn anything else I could use, so I left that on there. I might use it. You'll notice a trend. The Crustle isn't the only lazy thing here. The really awesome thing about this team I made is that all of the movesets are things I made sure they learn by level up. I have it all planned out. Very convenient. No more breeding freeze-dry nightmares for me. So that's the zone, max HP, max attack, and I'm not going to try for good IVs because it's genderless and needs to breed with Ditto. In the video you'll be seeing on screen what IVs and stats these things actually have in game, so that's cool. Next is Flygon. I thought that'd be fun. Levitate to pair with the Magnezone ground weakness, and a tip of the hat to the Flygon I had in the old Pixelmon series years ago that flew me around everywhere. It is a part electric type gym after all, so as predictable as it is, I should have a ground type. The dragon typing helps me absorb the grass and water moves, but I am very weak to the ice moves. I originally had a great idea to pair with Flygon, but I'll get back to that. I threw an expert belt on there, which powers up super effective hits. Makes sense because I have good wide coverage. EQ, Declaw, Rock Slide, Crunch. Hooray for coverage moves. I would swap Crunch for a U-turn if that was easy to do. Great for momentum, especially with the Jolly Speed Max attack. Pretty fast at base 100, but not that fast. Many electric and flying types especially can outspeed. Those are the two fastest types in the game after all, but I wanted something kinda fast. I mentioned wanting to pair it with a thing for the ice weakness, and that thing thing was Magnezone, another cool ground type I thought would be really appropriate. It doesn't like the grass and water, but can take on the ice, and is obviously very, very strong. I also mentioned an offensive ice type being a good idea against electric flying. Ground ice sounds great. There aren't that many great ice types I can use that aren't part water, which isn't very good. I would have been willing to sketch Icicle Crash off a Cloyster onto my Freeze-Dry Smeargle that I already have to get the moveset all worked out. Probably like EQ, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, Freeze-Dry, or Rock Slide. That'd be hilarious if I busted out the Freeze-Dry Magnezone against a Pelipper or something that they had to counter ground types. But that plan fell through when I realized I would need to use a move token to get Ancient Power onto Piloswine to evolve it. I thought Piloswine learned Ancient Power at some level around 33, but I guess I was thinking of Yanma into Yanmega. Very sad. Magnezone is a beast, and I could just use the move token, to be honest. I know I'll never end up using the one I have, but I'll be going without Mamo, and that's okay, because I picked up the suggested T-Tar. The sand actually pairs really well with my entire team. Well, not really well, like Sandrush and Sandveil shenanigans, but I'm not taking damage from it at least. A very similar moveset there, Rock Slide, EQ, Crunch, but no Dragon Claw, just Iron Tail. That actually isn't a level up move, it's just something I accidentally bred on there from Dratini. So cool, why not? My only other option was Stone Edge if I wanted a bit more damage than Rock Slide, and I'm willing to risk the more likely miss. Iron Tail is even more inaccurate, I know, but it's cool. I don't know, it won't be useful for this gym, I know. I would love for this guy to be my Stealth Rocker, and that would be a useful fourth move, but whatever, I rarely need all four moves in these gym battles. I think this set is just fine, and he's so damn bulky and strong. Max HP, max attack, it gets that special defense boost in the sand. Crustle does too as a rock type. Leftovers recovery, I mean, it's a pseudo legend, it's an OU for a reason. This thing is bulky and strong as hell. Just compare the stats to everything else on my team. I could bring a full team of pseudos to these gym battles, to be honest. I don't know why they blanket ban all legendaries and megas from gyms, but not things that are way bigger threats like these guys. I mean, the Bird Trio and the Lake Trio and some of the lower tier megas are really not that good when you look at typing and usage, and like those trios I mentioned, they're all base 580 stat total, and like they banned Abomasnow. It was just added to the mod, and there's a bug where it has the base stat total of Mega Abomasnow, but even still, that's base 594, pseudos are all 600, Mega Abomasnow and T-Tar really aren't that different. It's kind of weird what they banned from gyms, but I guess if they tried to go off Smogon tiers and just banned Ubers, that would be confusing for a lot of people. But that's the core team of four, and now we of course fall to Mime Jr., the star of the show, rocking that Eviolite to make it live something, hopefully. Base 20 HP, dude. But I will try one last time to find an Eviolite during all the training. If all else fails, I will buy it. The lax nature sucks so much, but that's what I'm stuck with. Raising the low defense stat and lowering the high special defense stat. That's horrible because of how it works with the 10% change. It pains me. I wish I could be raising special defense and lowering attack, but it's okay. It's Mime Jr. I couldn't get dual screens. It learned those at an earlier level, so that idea was out the window. It does have Copycat though, and it will learn Psychic, Safeguard, and Baton Pass by level up before 55. Copycat could be really fun. It just uses the last move used in battle, so if they go for Thunderbolt and I Copycat, then I go for Thunderbolt. But in that case, I'd rather just Psychic. What it's actually good for is if they have a Skarmory or an Aerodactyl lead or something and go for Stealth Rock, then I Mimic and go for my own Stealth Rock. If they go for Iron Head, well, that would suck. But with my Filter plus Eviolite, I take it well, all things considered. It does like 45%. But then I Mimic Iron Head, that'll do nothing at all. But getting some hazards up, that would be a legendary play from Mime Jr. Or if they think, what is this idiot doing with a Mime Jr., I'm gonna set up in his face, they go for Calm Mind. No, I'm not setup fodder, I Copycat that Calm Mind. Now, I can't stay in, because I will lose a Calm Mind war with whatever fully evolved strong thing they have, but I go for a Baton Pass with that Calm Mind, pass it right into my Magnezone, start destroying lives. What if they go for Swords Dance? Pass it right into T-Tar or Flygon, destroy lives. Mime Jr. could do something in this battle, or maybe it dies right away, or maybe it gets set up on and completely loses me the match, but you can't say I didn't try. We will attempt to make Mime Jr. work. That's what I love about the Wheel of Random. I didn't think this thing would get anything worthwhile outside of just dual screens, but this set could be fun. Baton Pass is also there just to have a slow, dry Baton Pass, even if I don't manage to mimic any setup moves, but I can take a hit with this thing and then switch into something with a better matchup. That could also help the team. I'm not trying to make an OP team member with Mime Jr., because that's not possible. I'm just trying to make something that is better than having nothing. And I finally learned Safeguard, which can shield the team from statuses, block those Thunder Waves, I guess, but I don't expect to use that move. That's going to be my team of 5. I'm pretty excited about it. We've got some power, we've got some memes, and it shouldn't be too hard to put together. Time for me to go build it up, although you've been watching that happen the whole time. I'll be back in a while, or to you, I will resume talking right after this jump cut. There it is, the whole team trained up to 55 with all the EVs and moves and such. They all have the exact same stats you saw on screen the whole time I was talking about them. I had to catch a ton of Magnemites as you saw, that was annoying. I was just going for a modest one, I wasn't going to keep breeding for IVs. But they're a very common spawn in cold biomes. Everything else went pretty smoothly. I even caught a shiny Electrode while training the speed on Flygon. And then, not long after that, I caught another shiny Electrode. Yeah, really weird. I feel like something changed with shinies coming from the spawners, because I saw 2 shiny Chanseys in the grinding area that same day, but you're not allowed to catch anything in there, so I did not. I've been buying more shinies too. If you want to suggest any of these things for the gym team, that's always fun, if I ever make another video here. I also did a bunch of chain breeding off the other 5IV Dratini I bought last time, the one with low special attack instead of low attack, and I eventually got myself this male 5IV low special attack Grovyle. Grovyle was the easy choice to get something in the monster egg group since I already had the other 5IV Sceptiles, and that enabled me to breed a couple 5IV minus special attack Larvitars. Well, I'm excited to take on this gym. I hope me bringing Mime Jr. is lighthearted fun, and I'm not insulting them or anything by having something pretty silly. Despite my strategies, I can see a world where it is set up fodder, and I get swept because I'm being a goof with Mime Jr., and I am willing to live with that consequence. One other thing before heading off to the gym, you'll notice that this area looks completely different. I did that impromptu base tour in the last video, and a good friend of mine found it so ugly and horrible they took it upon themselves to get on the server and make it look better. So this is now less of a storage cave and more of a living space. Thank you, sir. So that's very nice. The breeding area here is the same, so you can see if I dig some holes, there's the old cave area down here. But now everything is fancied up, so you don't have to stare at that horrible cave any longer. And if I do a quick cut, there are even fancy buildings above ground as well. I'm all about battling the gyms and don't put any time into building. He's all about the building and isn't interested in the gyms, so we coexist nicely. Well then, onward to the electric flying type gym. I'm glad I always have something that can work as a flying mount on these gym teams, otherwise I'd have to walk to the gym. Well, technically I don't have to go to the gym at all, I could just type the command to join it from anywhere, but I like approaching the gym, it feels right. Thinking about my lead, I am once again thinking I will lead with the random wheel pick, Mime Jr., to make sure I use it in the battle, but maybe I'll change my mind depending on what they have. Like if it's one of those rare electric or flying types slower than base 60 speed, there aren't many, but they do exist, like Ampharos or Farfetch'd, a few others. Well, I will cut back when they have accepted the challenge. Okay, funny story guys about that cutting back when they accept the challenge thing. Well, what actually happened is I waited around in the queue for about 15 minutes and nothing was happening. Then I had to go do something, so I left the queue, got offline. Well, it seemed like I never ran out of things to do after that. Like all that stuff I talked about in the Battlegrounds update video, I just got busy. So now several literal weeks have passed since I said I would cut back in just a moment. When I remembered about Pixelmon, I was suddenly concerned that the server would be gone or reset and I would just have to trash the whole video. But no worries, everything is still here and I'm back in the queue now. It looks like it's happening. I didn't really remember much about building this team, but I had a quick look at all the moves and I remember I was thinking of leading with the Mime Jr. to maybe mimic some entry hazards or a setup move and slow baton pass pivot into something else. Well, okay, this time I'll cut back in just a moment when we get into the battle. And we are in the arena. So a month has gone by since that last clip you just watched. I am kidding, that was a joke. About 3 minutes have passed this time. This will be a tough gym. Electric flying, so many great Pokemon they can choose from. Let's see what their lead is here. I believe we're ready to go. Yeah, Mega. What do you know, a repeat from the Bug Gym? Well, whatever, let's go with Mime Jr. It was at this moment I realized I really shouldn't be going through with the Mime Jr. lead idea, as Yanmega cannot set any hazards and is not known to set up at all, probably just being Bug Buzz, Air Slash, Giga Drain, Protect, or Shadow Ball, or even U-Turn, so leading with Mimic would go horribly wrong, and perhaps it would be better to make sure I use Mime Jr. later in the battle and lead with some rock coverage. I think that missed, and that might be a good thing. I'm getting cold feet. Let's go with Crustle. They only have 4. One moment? It was at this moment I realized I had been a complete buffoon. I don't know how closely anyone watching the series was following along, but it appears this gym is still a 4v4. I usually check the rules very closely, and I did several times while building this team. I have no idea how I was so convinced it was a 5v5. But no, that's the next one, the Psychic Gym. I think on some subconscious level I wasn't thinking of Mime Jr. as a Pokemon, so I had to make a quick decision and drop a team member. Alright, who's it gonna be? Mime Jr. is locked in, T-Tar is too powerful, Flygon is fast, and Magnezone's my only special attacker with great typing, so I think it has to be Crustle. Rip Stealth Rock and Shell Smash would have been fun, but Crustle was just something I threw on here because I never got to send them out in the bug gym. These are the 4 I actually built for this gym, and it looks like that's what we're gonna be rocking with. Take 2. Crustle wasn't weak to any Yanmega's usual moves except Ancient Power. T-Tar is weak to the Bug Buzz and Giga Drain, but I just can't lead Mime Jr. on Yanmega. I think we'll easily tank a couple moves, max HP with the special defense boost in the sand. I have full faith in the monster that is T-Tar. We gotta go for this Rock Slide. It will absolutely shred this Yanmega if we connect. Even in the case where this is a Sash lead, we got the sand up, so that will knock this thing out in one turn. Unless we see a U-turn, that would be worst case scenario. We'll see what they go for. Bug Buzz, as expected, and we tank that, goddamn. And Rock Slide tumbles down. I should narrate the entire battle like that Battle Revolution guy, but nobody would get the references. Earthquake tears open the ground. Okay, moving on. We took care of the Yanmega, and we're pretty healthy with those leftovers. It looked like it did actually have a Focus Sash, and we killed it with the sand there, which is fantastic. Maybe it's a good thing we ditched Crustle. Well, what will their answer to T-Tar be exactly in an electric flying type gym? Don't expect it to be a flying type. And I would be wrong because they have a Gliscor, physically defensive as anything. Well, that's really scary because I'm not mixed T-Tar with Ice Beam. Crunch is probably a 3 to 4 at KO. It might be Sub-Toxic Roost Poison Heal, but if I'm expecting an EQ, I could go to Flygon or even Magnezone with that air balloon, but I don't get my balloon popped if he doesn't EQ. Hey, remember when I wanted to bring Magnezone? Alright, Flygon, please save me. He's SD's in my face, oh my lord. Stallbreaker Gliscor. Good thing I didn't pivot into Mime Jr. What do I even do now? I guess click Dragon Claw for chip damage and hope he doesn't have coverage for me. But he does have the Ice Fang. Oh joy, get blown away, Flygon. But wait, more importantly, he outsped me? Excuse me, mate, I'm Jolly Max Speed base 100. Gliscor's base 95. So he would have to also be Jolly Max Speed with an excellent Speed IV. That came down to Speed IVs. But Dragon Claw wasn't going to do much anyway. Okay, well, do we just lose now to SD Gliscor? I have to go into Magnezone and hit it with a special attack. That's my only option. He has SD Ice Fang and I assume EQ. I think my only way to win is to Magnet Rise here and hope he has a rock or utility move as his 4th and not something like Fire Fang, because he obviously outspeeds me and will pop my balloon right now. Flash Cannon would do a lot, but it shouldn't one-shot even non-bulky Gliscor, and then I die to EQ next turn, unless I Magnet Rise right now. So we'll see what he goes for to pop my balloon. If it's Rock Slide or Ice Fang, we're in great shape. Please let your last move be Roost or Toxic or something. Gym leaders never seem to switch in this server or in this game, so I assume that's not an option. He goes for the Ice Fang to pop it. That's fantastic news, and we got our Magnet Rise off. Thank God, a flinch or freeze there would have lost us the game. Now we get to fire off some big flash cannons and kill this thing. What was that, a Flame Gem boosted Acrobatics? I kind of skipped it, and that does huge damage. I love you, Magnezone. Special defense drop doesn't matter at all. So I'm assuming if he does have EQ, then his 4th was Acrobatics. I mean, that's stabbing stronger, but I mean, we do quad resist. So we're looking good against this Gliscor, and he misses the Ice Fang. Whew, no flinch or freeze. Okay, we're good. Wow, so we got past the SD Gliscor. I kind of thought it was all over there. And it's nowhere near done. That was just his 2nd Mon. And our team's looking kind of destroyed right now. We got a Magnezone and a T-Tar at half health that have to hold it down because Flygon just got dropped. And Mime Jr. that has to come in at some point. Can't forget about that. Goes into Lantern as an electric type. Okay, I'm assuming Volt Absorb because that's more common and better. So I'm not even going to try an electric type attack. We have to get into T-Tar somehow. But I think now's the time for Mime Jr. to safely pivot into T-Tar. Goes for Confuse, right? Okay, I was scared of like a Scald or a Hydro Pump or a Surf. But that works, I guess. Let's just try to copycat, see what happens. Why not? We get paralyzed. Okay. I'm glad we got fully paralyzed there, actually, because we would have just given it Volt Absorb. Not that, I mean, if it doesn't have any HP to regain. Let's fire off a Psychic. I'm not going to do much, but maybe we can get a little bit of damage in with Mime Jr. Why not? See what it wants to do. Not too concerned about losing Mime Jr., if you couldn't tell. Hydro Pump. We eat those. Base 20 HP coming through with all that investment in that Eviolite. But we didn't get the Psychic off. Come on, Baton Pass. Save yourself, Mime Jr. Baton Pass into T-Tar. Alright, don't. Hit yourself. That's fine. And get discharged to death. Okay, T-Tar, come on out. I tried Mime Jr. I really did. I'm sorry. You had to break through one of those times. Now we EQ this thing into oblivion. I know Lantern is kind of bulky. It has some solid HP. But I really think max attack T-Tar EQ plows through it. I don't expect outspeed, but we should absolutely take a Hydro Pump in the sand. But they have to paralyze me instead, which is kind of bad news. But maybe having the high HP is more valuable. But as you saw there, Earthquake tears open the ground. You could Google it if you're confused. Alright, what's next? Galvantula. Another electric type makes sense. 2 of each. Well, there's no sense swapping out T-Tar here. We just fire off a Rock Slide, I guess, and hope to get through the paralysis. We should definitely take a Bug Buzz, probably not 2, but we took one from the Yanmega, and we are in the sand again. We got that special defense increase. If we connect this Rock Slide, it's all over. Even if they have a second Sash user for some reason, we still got the sand. T-Tar really coming through. Thunder, that didn't even do that much. I had to go for Thunder. And it did hang on a Sash, but thanks to the sand, we get that win. Wow, I thought we were screwed there. GG. When they set up with Gliscor, then proceeded to outspeed and OHKO our Flygon because of a high-speed IV, leaving us with only a Magnezone to take it down. Oh cool, they give us a TM Thunder Wave. Nice, they didn't used to do that. Like, I should have expected Ice Fang to counter ground types, but I would have made the same plays. I couldn't go to a Magnezone and risk the balloon popping. I can't believe how important the Air Balloon and Magnet Rise were. I made fun of myself for having them both on the same set, but without both of those, we would have gotten swept by 3 Earthquakes from Gliscor. He outspeeds and kills the Zone, the T-Tar, and probably the Mime Jr. Now, he never revealed Earthquake, I guess, but that had to be his last move. That's crazy to think about. I honestly didn't expect the Air Balloon to help at all. I thought it would just pop and not matter. But it won us the game. Thank God I went with that over just a Magnet or a Metal Coat. I suppose Metal Coat boosted Flash Cannon could have OHKO'd Gliscor, but we never would have had the chance to go for it. I was Magnet Pull, not Sturdy. Sturdy doesn't make much sense for an Air Balloon set, since they break your Sturdy when they pop the balloon. At least Magnet Pull might have helped trap in a Skarmory and Thunderbolt it. I really was expecting Skarmory too, for the hazards and to counter the rock and ice types that people bring for flying. But anyway, I suppose a sturdy Metal Coat Magnezone could have also dug me out of that hole. Also a Sash Mamoswine. But wow, what an awesome battle. Great way to end things off here. It feels like the cliche gym leader thing to say in a Pokemon game. I feel like that Volkner guy, the 8th Sinnoh gym leader. Like, that battle was so great, it reignited my passion for battling. It kind of did. That was a very fun battle. Not easy, but we held it down with the power of T-Tar and Magnezone. Rip Flygon and Mime Jr., who basically both played the exact same role. Flygon took an Ice Fang to the face, which gave me a safe switch into Magnezone, and Mime Jr. took the Parafusion and Hydro Pumps, which gave me a safe switch into T-Tar. I guess Crustle would have been better than Flygon to get that sturdy Shell Smash off. I can't believe I thought it was a 5v5. But whatever, I'm really happy with how that battle went, and I suppose I don't have much else to say now. Chances are this will be the last entry in the Pixelmon series. Part of me now wants to be like, maybe I should go battle the other gyms with the stuff I already have trained up. Like, I bet I could run through the Psychic Gym with Tyranitar, Metagross, and Crustle, but I don't think that'll happen. I like ending on this note. I'm not gonna have the time, and the server is slowly fading away, it seems. I had fun here, though. If you were one of the few fans of this thing, thanks for checking it out and giving it a try. And, well, this may be going away, but chances are I'll still be a Pokemon fan when next summer rolls around. And we'll see what happens then. A reboot of the Pokemon Go vlogs, maybe? An actual Pokemon game? You never know. Well, once again, thanks for joining me on this mini-adventure. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.